Hey guys, we're downstairs today, not just in the study. So we're going to do some feeding today. I went and got some live food from Dobbies. There's a Maidenhead Aquatics on the way to Preston, between Preston and Blackpool. So I went and got some live food there. We got some mysis shrimp and we got some Daphnia. But I'm also going to take you through the rest of the foods that I use, what my feeding schedule is, and how you'd be able to kind of generate your own feeding schedule. I have some fish that are quite difficult to feed, so we'll go through that as well. So let's take a look in my freezer, see what we got. Hey guys, in the middle of making Sunday dinner. Look in the freezer. Plenty of ice lollies. So, bottom shelf here dedicated to frozen fish food. We have bloodworm, it's nearly all gone. Mussel meat, I don't feed that too often. Brine shrimp with garlic. We've got tube effects that I hate. We've got a discus life, which is a mixed. It's got beef heart in there as well. We've got cyclops. We've got frozen krill. We've got brine shrimp with omega-3. Frozen Daphnia. This one is more brine shrimp garlic. We have some mysis there. And we have some more krill there. So that's the frozen food. We won't be using that today. Okay, let's go up to the study. So unlocked. So a bit of a mess at the moment, as you can see. You see, it gets quite a bit of sun from that window. Here we go. So here's the tank. Again, glare as always. This guy, you can see he's pretty peckish. Everyone's milling about because they know they're going to get fed. Let's see. I think there's anyone in there. Nope. Anyone in there? I think there's possibly someone in that cave. Yep, there is someone in that cave. We just wait for the crebensis to move. You might be able to just see the tail. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of sand on here. The catfish have been pretty active, but we're doing okay. The nitrates are pretty low in this tank. We have a nice little plant up there. You see the roots just here. We have obviously a lot of plant life in here. I've taken a lot of it out. I will be, unfortunately, breaking this tank down. More will be revealed in future videos, but I can say we're on the. We're not going to be buying any new fish for this tank, and we're going to be trying to find homes for this fella. My mum will take the cherry barbs. The rams, but we're going to be trying to find home, and the crebensis, but we're trying to find homes for the things that are a little bit different, a little bit rarer. So you can see at the minute he's acting like King Dick, but this guy recently has really picked up his game, and he's been pretty territorial. If it wasn't for the catfish, they would be breeding pretty well. They've paired up quite nicely. Her and him in the back. And recently, actually, she has been giving him a little bit more of the... She's been standing up to him a little bit more. You see right now she's not, but she's not running as quickly as she was, and she's not hiding necessarily. She's just running away, and then she'll kind of turn, and you see right there, she's right back on it. So quite interesting. They've never been bred in the UK before. So that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, we see the Pongigeton keeps springing back. The combination of the poor light, no CO2, and all the crap being kicked up means that these leaves get quite dirty. I mean, the plant's growing well. The plants get uprooted a lot with the catfish digging around. The crypts again. They survive. This is probably my worst ever planted tank. I do like the Vallis. I would like a lot more Vallis in here, but like I say, I'm going to be breaking the tank down, so I'm not going to be too heavily invested in that. Anyway, let me take the food out of the bag. In fact, no, let's run you through the dry food first. So, I'll pause here and then we'll get the food all sorted. Okay, so I have 3 brands that are my go-to brands. I have the NT Labs probiotic and prebiotic. So these the waste products of this are kind of helpful for propagation of the heterotrophic bacteria that help break down sludge and crap in the aquarium. Also, there's some level of consideration for vitamins and stuff like that in here. So if we have a look at this, I think I've shown you this before, but this is the nano. So it's ideal for those nano fish. I used to obviously keep a lot of nano fish. We do still have the Harijodonii, the Asian stone catfish, in here somewhere. The Apistos will be kind of thankful for this. You can see we've got some colour enhancers there. This recommends twice daily. Again, we'll address that in a minute. But this is quite a nice little food. Same here, very similar. It's got a bit more veggie matter in it, I believe, this one. It's more of a complete food. Again, very small grain size. So they're pretty nice. Nice slow sinking. They have a little bit of a float, and then when they catch the current, they sink. You see, it's water changes day to day anyway, so I'll feed and then I'll do water changes. We have the bottom feeder formula, which is empty. I do like this one. This Bug Bites by Fluval. I do like this one. I like the size of it, and I like how it behaves in the water. It is quite slow sinking. It's very good. This one, very similar in size to those, maybe a little bit smaller. Let's have a look. So you see there, nice little pinch of that. The fish do take to it very well. Even my wild caught stuff that you would expect to have a few challenges with. Then this stuff, I'm just going to throw one of these pellets in. These are good. The only problem is, it says slow sinking, but I just find them to be floating. Let's just get one. Right, where's he? Right, Chin. Pretty aggressive. So I do like the size of this, and I do like that you get that surface action from the fish, but it is not slow sinking. It's floating. I find maybe one pellet will be not floating. So that's the Fluval stuff. Bug Bites, yes, I do like the Bug Bites stuff. We then move on to the Vitalis stuff. Tropical Grazer looks like that. This is empty. I like to save these for when I get free samples and that kind of stuff. It's a nice little food though. This is what I'm currently using for the catfish. I do supplement with fresh vegetables. It's quite good for the catfish. No one else is that interested in it, but you can see they're a decent sized pellet. I'll throw one of them in because no one will really go for it. But you see, not a bad sized pellet. They're kind of focus. They're kind of not they're firm, but they're not completely solid. You see, let's throw that in. Okay, upset him a little bit. He might have a bit of a nibble on it, but that'll wait there for the catfish. So yeah, going on to what I said before about if you've not guessed, the live food's going to be at the end of the video to try and keep you watching. The catfish are very difficult to feed because they don't come out. So the L numbers, I think they're L3, I can forget whether they're L340s or L360s. They graze on the wood. They'll graze on plant matter, which is why you see a lot of raggedy leaves. And they will eat this stuff and fresh veg and fruit. The other catfish, the big monster catfish, that you will be very surprised when I do the video of them. They they don't come out during the day at all to eat. The L numbers will, but you know, they're just kind of in the background. So I have to drop sort of those pellets in for them to hoover up. If I come in at night, I can see them cruising around. Those catfish will eat anything and everything. Their mouths are probably, you know, that. So they, maybe not that, but they've got a decent sized mouth on them. And they'll just go around hoovering up anything. So again, got to be careful with rocks in here. They could accidentally swallow rocks, get impacted. Yeah, I think it's impacted, isn't it, with when they get rocks stuck in them. So got to be quite careful with those. I will feed towards the end of the day before the lights go out, so I know the food's going to be in there. But with that being said, let's get some live food in there. I'm just going to... So here you've got some mysis. So when you open this bag, you'll realise it stinks. So you don't want to be putting that water in your tank. So what I do is I will cut it open and I will drain it through a fish net into a bucket. So we'll do that just now. Okay, so we've got them in the net. This is all going to happen pretty quickly. So out they come. Right. Wait till they get discovered. Oh, cherry barbs are going for them. Let's find someone else. These guys not got anything. Oh, pretty aggressive there. There we go. No messing around with this guy. Straight after them. Look at that hanging out of his mouth. Greedy boy. You see his colours. He's really picking up colour. The camera doesn't really do it justice, but you can get a hint of the yellow, blue, red in his fins. Really attractive fish, very nice. What's going on over here? Anyone? So that was over pretty quickly. So that was the mysis. Now let's do some Daphnia. Okay, here we go again. We'll do it from this side this time. Cherry barbs into it straight away again. There we go. These guys are going for them. Nice little cloud around here. The pisto at the back. Going for them as well. Everybody loves Daphnia. Yes. Over in focus. There we go. Oh, don't fancy that. Cubensis. Milk there. A little pike there. Got the other pisto just here. Lots of little Daphnia swimming around, and that'll keep them going for a few minutes. The nice thing about feeding live food is it doesn't, start decaying. So Daphnia could survive in here. It won't, but it could. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that video. Should probably tell you my schedule. Actually, that was part of the point. So the feeding schedule. I feed the pellets, the big pellets, probably once a day. Try and keep the catfish full. My preference is to feed the frozen food, which I will feed every other day. I usually feed 2 of those cubes every other day. you can generally with the fish that I've got, you can tell with the bellies when they're full, when they need feeding. If you think kind of in the wild, a lot of these fish will go from feast to famine. Obviously I don't let them gorge themselves, but I don't. If I'm wanting to condition them for breeding, then I'll treat them differently. You will get to know your fish. You'll be able to tell from how your aquarium is behaving if you're overfeeding. So overfeeding will result in probably more algal growth. Your fish won't be as eager to eat. So you saw when I came to the tank here, they were all up in the water, kind of coming to the front of the tank, preparing themselves to be fed. If I came back in 10 minutes, they wouldn't be behaving like that because they're full. They're not that interested in feeding. Again, if I was conditioning fish to breed, I'd be giving them a plentiful supply of either live or frozen foods. Bloodworm's always a good trigger. Bloodworm's actually quite a nice live food to feed because it buries itself in the substrate. So for things like the catfish, they nuzzle around and find them, which is quite cool. Corydoras will obviously appreciate that as well. Don't overfeed bloodworm. Give them a varied diet and try and get gut loaded where you can. Aside from that though, that's kind of what I feed. How often I feed varies. The other thing I would say is if you're going away, don't bother with the feeding blocks. Feed them well before you go. Do a nice big water change, and then you could probably leave them for 2 weeks without feeding. Especially if you have a planted aquarium. It's one of the benefits of a planted aquarium is there's a lot of little things that live in this tank that you just don't see. So there's little tiny crustaceans, there's worms, there's all sorts that live in there that if you go in at night with a torch, you can sometimes get a glimpse of them. But that's why I don't really get too worried. There's a lot to feed on. You can see the fluff that's on the wood, that's edible. And the leaf litter, that obviously houses microorganisms. So if I was to be successful with breeding in here, which I won't because there's a lot of cichlids in here that'll predate a lot of fry. There's the catfish, which the other cichlids will get scared away. So say for example the cribs were to breed, they would fend off every other fish in this tank by the catfish. The catfish wouldn't be bothered and they'd just go and eat the fry, or they'd eat the eggs before they even got to fry. So but if I was able to get fry, then there's microfauna in here that again isn't visible. What I'm hoping to do eventually is get a microscope, and we will do some wet slides. So as you are aware, I'm a microbiologist, or well, used to be a microbiologist. I don't do an awful lot of microbiology now. I run a microbiology lab, but I'm quite keen to get a microscope. We can try and find some tardigrades in the aquarium, which would be nice. We can find some other kind of ciliates, single cell stuff, protozoans. What I would like to do as well is try and do some isolation of some of the bacteria in the water column, in the filter. Obviously I have access to different agars when they go out of date, so I wouldn't use the in-date stuff, but the shelf life's flexible on a lot of stuff. So yeah, we can mess around with a lot of that once I get a microscope set up in my new fish room when I get that up and running. But again, more details on that will follow in the coming videos. If there's anything else you would like to see from this channel, please comment below. I hope this has been informative and entertaining. You know, I hope it's been entertaining, but and next week, or probably not next week, the week after, we will probably do like I'll prepare something, and it'll be more like an informal podcast type arrangement, but we'll see. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.